Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good one today. I'm Nick, and I am back with another review for the people. And today I am doing Puppet Master, and this one was chosen by Destiny Faulkner. Destiny is a big horror fan, and her and a group of her friends just went out and made a new YouTube channel called The Final Ghouls. So I'll post a link to their channel in the description as well as their Instagram. It's very new, so I don't know if they have any content up there yet. Also, make sure to go check out Destiny's main Instagram, Night of the Living Des, where she posts a lot of pics of her doing horror makeup effects, which look really great. Sometimes they're holiday themed or just horror movie themed, and she does a really great job at that, so go check that out as well. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get into Puppet Master. So Puppet Master was released in 1989. It stars Paula Matt, Irene Miracle, and was directed by David Schmoller. Now guys, this is the only movie in the franchise that I've seen. I have a 9-film collection set of Puppet Master, but I've only checked out the original. I'm excited to check out the rest in the future. I also own the remake that Fangoria put out. And I know there's like over 10 of these, so it's a franchise I'm excited to dive into in the future, but for right now I've only seen the original. And this one was straight to video when it came out. It was actually supposed to be theatrically released, but last minute they decided it was best to go direct to video, and they actually made a lot more money off of it like that, and it gained a cult status. Now the plot of this one is a bit confusing. You would figure it would just be a straight up slasher about these killer puppets killing people, right? But it's a little more complicated than that. It's actually about these psychics who get called by a former colleague to meet with them at an old hotel, and when they arrive they find him dead, and then various different types of puppets start killing them off one by one. There's a lot of mystery built throughout this story, and I kind of appreciate that it wasn't just a really cheap like slasher flick about these dolls. There's actually a lot more to it within the story. I admit that the plot is not the most accessible though to the mainstream audience. It's very bizarre. We get many dream sequences, and with these guys being psychics and getting different visions in that, it definitely makes for an odd experience. But as odd as it is, it's original as hell, and I can't really say I've seen any story quite like this before. The puppets themselves actually don't get very much screen time at all in this flick. They're my favorite scenes in the entire movie when they do appear, but I think they might have only like 5 minutes of screen time total when you add it all up, which is unfortunate. But like I said, when they are on screen, it's a delight. They were made by this man named Andre Toulon, who was a puppet master, if you will. And at the starting of this flick, he's at the hotel when it's still running, and he realizes he is going to get ambushed and murdered by these men in black. So he hides away the puppets in the wall to never be found, as well as hiding the spells to bring them to life. And that's where this man Gallagher comes in. He invites all these psychics to this old hotel because he has found these puppets in the wall, and he figured they were going to figure it out one way or another using their psychic abilities, so he decided to invite them all there to kill them off before they could figure it out. And he made sure to kill himself before they all arrived so that they wouldn't suspect anything, but secretly he was going to use the spell to bring himself back to life as well. And the spell, or the magic that they're using to conjure up these dolls and reanimate the dead and whatnot, it's supposed to be an Egyptian passage that they used back in the day, and they have them on scrolls and such. But getting back to the puppets, a lot of their movements are made with stop motion, which to me just really works. They look eerie and more creepy that way. And others actually use puppetry, like Blade had to take up to 5 people at times to make him move with different sticks in that, which is really impressive to see. And every one of these puppets all have their own unique style and look to them, and their own method of kills too, which is really cool. My personal favorite has to be the Leech Girl. I don't know all their right names there. I'm fairly new to this franchise, but that Leech Girl, or whatever she's called, is definitely the creepiest and the coolest of this whole movie. She like spits out or vomits out these leeches on the people, and they look real nasty. It's all practically done, which is awesome. And yeah, she is definitely my favorite, but they're all fun. I also like Blade, the way his eyes pop out, and obviously has the blade on his arm or hand and slicing throats and stuff. He's awesome. All the way to the guy with the drill on his head, like running with the drill. All of them are so much fun to watch, especially in that final act when they take out the Gallagher himself in the elevator. you get to see every one of them attack him, which is really cool. And although I do really love Gallagher's demise, I do find it kind of ridiculous that he's stuck in that elevator. Like, he doesn't know how to open the door, or that is just a little foolish. But besides that, it's a great final act. And while the finale shows a lot of cool effects when they're killing off Gallagher, the rest of the movie, you mostly have to use your imagination. Right when we get to the kill, it's usually off screen, but they'll usually show you the aftermath at least, so you get to see the gnarly kill. This is a very low budget flick, so I didn't expect much more, but they do a fairly good job with what they had. And getting into the main cast of actual humans, they're not very memorable at all. I suppose they're only memorable for how bizarre and freaking weird they are. Like, one girl, her psychic ability is that she can tell you the past of like a bed. She can tell you like who had sex in it and everything, or like she gets in the tub and tells you who slept together in the tub. It's like really weird. Like, we get another chick that's like supposed to be like a fortune teller, and she has like a stuffed dog that she's always talking to and trying to feed it canned food and stuff. And it's just like, what am I watching? I was just here to watch puppets murder people, and we're getting all this really weird, bizarre psychic stuff. And even our main lead, Alex, I'm pretty sure his name is, like, he's a nice guy and everything, but he does these like weird stares and long pauses after he talks to people, and it just makes him seem super awkward. And even Barbara Crampton makes a little special appearance in this flick at the very start. She's like at a carnival or whatever, seeing one of the fortune tellers, which was a cool to see her in this flick. I'm always happy when she appears in horror. And besides the psychics, we have Gallagher, who invited them all to the old hotel, and his wife. His wife really doesn't have a clue what's going on. She's kind of trying to put the pieces together during this flick, and by the end, her and our main psychic put two and two together and realize what Gallagher is really up to. The only thing I don't really understand is how Gallagher could use the spell on himself if he's already dead. Like, does he get the maid to do it, or does he get like the puppets to do the Egyptian spell on him? Like, how is he going to reanimate himself once he commits suicide? Another thing I want to mention is the score in this movie. The music is just so playful throughout and really suits the themes of the film, like with the puppets and that. It's very childlike. It's like something you imagine you'd hear when you walk into a toy store. And the main theme reminds me of like an Ocarina of Time song, like off N64, like when you're in the main field or something. And there's a few other tracks in here that just gives me the N64 vibe for some reason, but I really do enjoy the score to this. So guys, while Puppet Master has a messy storyline and suffers from a low budget, I think it's a real entertaining flick, and I always have a good time with it. So if I'm going to have to rate this movie, I'm going to give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. This was a pretty good little horror flick, and I'm excited to check out more of the franchise just because of all the mythology and lore that they laid out for us. I'm excited to see where this goes, whether we go in the past or the future. So there you have it, guys. There's my review for Puppet Master from 1989. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to go check out Destiny's social medias, all down in my description, guys. There'll be links to those, as well as all my social medias. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.